Now we're going to use a wet sponge to gently wipe all the areas that we grouted. You wipe off all the haze that's along with it. Be very gentle. We let it sit for about 10 minutes before we did this. You don't want to let it sit too much longer than that, or it'll be much harder to get up, and you be very gentle with this. Now we're grouting. We mixed the grout. We used it a non-sanded grout for the small, since we only have small things. Otherwise you would use sanded if your grout lines are bigger than 1/8 of an inch. So we're using non-sanded grout. We just take our float. This is called a tile float. And we just spread it on. You have to mix the grout to the consistency of about kind of like mayonnaise. I mix it a little bit thicker for the mosaic portion than you would for the tile portion, but this is about the consistency for that. And you just basically fill your holes and use your float to scrape off the majority of it, and the rest comes off with a sponge. You want to do this to all your holes, all your lines, all your cracks and crevices. Really good. You got to move it back and forth over it to make sure you really fill the crack, not just get it on the surface of the crack. You want to go back and forth over it several times to make sure the crack is fully filled. You do this to the entire thing. If you look over there, we've already done all of the grouting in the shower. There's a haze over it, which will all be wiped off, which comes off with a dry cloth. We already did this yesterday, so that's all nice and dry. If you want to get an up close of where all our detail in our little box. We grouted everything except around the tub. Around the tub will be caulked. The grout won't stick properly to the plastic of the tub. It'll end up cracking. And you're also supposed to caulk the corners as well, but I also grout them ahead of time and then we'll caulk them afterwards. And around the window will also be caulked. And we use a caulk that's the same color as the grout. It's good for now.